Hey, welcome to Crimsonite. Today I'm doing something different. I'm actually getting a recommendation, of 15 movies that my friend right over here, the Real For Real podcast, Kev, big props to you for actually putting everybody in the movie community on this list. Go ahead and check him out if you haven't. Great content. He just came out with some really great video of Will Smith. And I definitely needed it. So go ahead and follow him. And thank you for doing this. You're fucking awesome. Also, if you haven't checked out Doobie movies, you should. He actually inspired me to actually look up some 15 movies just because I've done 101 movie lists up on my letterbox. So he kind of pushed me when I watched this video of his top 15 favorite movies. And I've yet to actually watch Dune Part 2. I'm sorry. I've just been so busy, and I'm sure you guys already know about that about me. But yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and go with my top 15. These films actually do not go in any order, so just to let you guys know that these movies are all fucking awesome, and I personally love all these films that I'm mentioning. But this first film is going to be Battle Royale. Now, why Battle Royale? Kenji Fukasaku made this film before Hunger Games, all about an island that, the school is killing off the teachers. So there's the teachers are kind of saying, you know what, fuck you. Why don't you students just kill each other off? So it's just a fucking amazing movie. For those people that haven't seen it, it has Chiaki Koriyama that plays in this film. She's also in Kill Bill Volume 1. And Quentin Tarantino loved this character so much in this film. He was just like, oh no, that's my go-go. But Battle Royale, Kenji Fukasaku has so many good layers of drama, action, horror, and I love the fuck out of this movie. There was actually drinking games when I used to be in my 20s that my friends and I used to do. We got fucked up. It was pretty much first kill, you drink, and then you go from there. But good times, definitely. You gotta enjoy movies with friends. Okay, Natural Born Killers. Now, there's so many cool visuals, edits, the music kicks ass, the soundtrack, of course. I mean, you have Patti Smith on the soundtrack, you have Leonard Cohen, you have Nine Inch Nails. I mean, this film does it for me. It's my favorite Woody Harrelson film, my favorite Oliver Stone film. I know that Quentin Tarantino himself hates this fucking movie, but, can't please everybody. All I could say is there's so many cool visuals, and there's not a movie like this at all, still to this day, 30th anniversary. It's just fucking amazing, and I actually got the chance to watch it in 4K with one of my two friends actually, and man, still amazing film. Even brought me back to being 16 years old. Talking about great soundtracks, this soundtrack by Goblin, such a cool soundtrack, prog rock. I was actually reading through some comments the other day, and they said, what's a film that doesn't have a good soundtrack? And Suspiria was on here. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? It is one of the most haunting horror film soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. And I remember when I was with my ex-wife, rest in peace, she hated this soundtrack. I had it in surround. And she was just like, can you turn this off? It's just fucking scaring the fuck out of me. And she was having goosebumps and everything. And we were watching in the middle of the day. So if soundtrack can do that. I mean, and visuals like this, I mean, that's just a fucking amazing movie. Suspiria, Dario Argento's best film. Yes, I know that's heard by a lot of people, but to me, it's my favorite of his. Man, this film right here, it all started off for watching like really cheesy films. Um, I must have been, I'm guessing like 14, 15, 13, maybe. I don't even know. But Basket Case was one of those films that I caught like about 4 o'clock in the morning watching this. And it was like on USA All Night. And USA All Night was this program they had with Gilbert Gottfried and this blonde female. She was beautiful. All these hormones coming in and everything like that when you're watching it. But Basket Case, it's a cheesy, bloody film, and it's still great. I love it. I know they just released it on 4K, so I'm hoping to watch that soon in 4K. And man, it has the humor of my films that I really love. It's gross. It's nasty. It has nudity. It has like a love affair with Belial and his twin brother, which he hates. And their stop motion animation, fucking great. It's fucking awesome. I love this film. I don't know about you, but this has to be one of the funniest movies I've seen like ever. This one and probably Borat, and the first time I ever saw Pink Flamingos and Female Trouble. Those probably my top 3 comedies of all time. And then there's another one on this list that really makes it too, but you'll see it later. Anyways, it's celebrating its 25th anniversary. I know it's going to be in theaters with like sing-along stuff happening on the screen. And I really actually want to go see it again at the theaters. But I'm going to go ahead and take some edibles. So, who's with me? There was a time where I pretty much watched a lot of Asian films, especially like movies from Hong Kong and China, and I loved the Cantonese language. So, with that being said, Chungking Express definitely is one of those films that forever changed my way of thinking. It's very philosophical, beautiful. There's a cool song by the name of Dreams by the Cranberries, and it's actually sung in either Cantonese or Mandarin, depending on which version you watch. So, with that being said, Wong Kar-wai's film here is just a beautiful film to watch anytime. And it's one of my favorite movies. Faye Wong is just so charismatic and beautiful to look at on her screen, and just the movie itself is just so cool. So that's why it's on my top 15. This movie is my favorite Pixar film. Yes, I'm talking about Soul, and just I love the hell out of it because basically it's just like a story of finding yourself and what really matters. And it's very cool because it involves, music and everything like that. So for me, it spoke to me. I'm a DJ, and I love the Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor soundtrack. It's really, really cool. The animation's awesome. The movie's funnier than hell. And this is definitely my favorite Pixar film, besides probably Up. It's probably my 2 favorite ones. And I don't know, it just didn't get the recognition it could have had. But then again, it was like 2020, so it was a really bad year. But definitely one of my favorite ones of 2020. And definitely on my top 15. Godzilla Minus One. Now, this is a more recent film, and probably, actually, this is the most recent film that I actually put on this list. Reason being because it did so much impact, and I wish I actually went to go see this film in the theaters. But I unfortunately did not, and I definitely have to do a rewatch in about a good probably 6 more months, but hopefully with some people that I haven't watched it with or haven't seen it. And it's amazing film. I mean, it just talks about someone that really is trying to thrive to go after Godzilla, after all the traumatic stuff, and you actually care about these characters, and it's a beautiful film, but it's also Godzilla. So she's destroying every fucking thing in her way. So it's really cool. And one thing I know for sure, and I'm gonna go ahead and see it when it comes out in black and white once that happens. Yeah, I'm just still waiting for that. So, with that being said, Godzilla Minus one of the best movies of 2023, which I saw in 2024. Good Will Hunting. What can I say about this movie that hasn't been said? Great performances by Matt Damon and as well as Robin Williams. Rest in peace. Man, this movie is such an amazing film, and what I really love the hell out of it is that it's just a person that doesn't know that he's smart, but because of Robin Williams' character, just kind of like elevates him and says, you know what, I have to push through all this bullshit as becoming a janitor, and it just has really good emotional like drama and emotional scenes, and it's funny and it's great. This is one of my favorite Robin Williams films that he was starred in, besides probably like Dead Poets Society or Good Morning Vietnam. Also one of my top 3 of his, but this one, I don't know, just does it for me. It's been a long time since I've seen this one, but it's definitely a 5-star film, and it's definitely why it's on this list. Step Brothers. What can I say? This movie is fucking hilarious. Great charisma from both of these actors. Like connection, like you really don't see much like nowadays, especially with 2 lead actors in a comedy film. So I love Will Ferrell in this film. John C. Reilly's so funny too. And it's one of those movies you just watch over time and it just keeps getting better. At least for me. And I don't know, it's just great. It's just funny. And then the Boats and Hoes music video, that parodies like hip hop and whatnot, is just fucking fun. It's original, and only they can do that, So thanks for this movie, and who knows, maybe they'll come out with part 2 one day, but I don't know, I'm not holding my breath. Lost Highway. This film is damn amazing. And I would have put it like Mulholland Drive and Blue Velvet up there as the top 3 David Lynch films. I know I have not seen Straight Story, and I should. And that's going to be changing pretty soon. Hopefully I can watch it like in a couple months or so. But David Lynch, this film right here is what put David Lynch films in my go-to films. And not only to go-to films, but just my go-to David Lynch films. And, I've seen like Dune, like the 1980s version. That was awesome. But Lost Highway is what really initially got me into David Lynch's films. And I can say that this film has an amazing soundtrack, because I remember this film when I was 19. I was just like, damn, this video with Trent Reznor as he was in that video, all skinny and like the goatee and, with the cane and shit, that got me into like, damn, what the hell? What am I watching? It's fucking amazing. I know he hates that song, but that's what led me to watch the Lost Highway film. And the film itself is just, man, it's just original film. If you've not seen it, I definitely recommend it. Great performances and twist. And then there's cameo with Marilyn Manson and Twiggy. So this is just a crazy ass film, and I'm all here for it, you know? Just recently saw it again, I believe, like last year in 4K, and that was fucking amazing. The sound and everything was just beautiful. So, Lost Highway. Interview with the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire is a beautiful homoerotic vampire film. I mean, when Anne Rice came out with this book in 1984, 3 or 5, around there, this film like was made afterwards in '94. I know she hated the actor Tom Cruise as Vampire Lestat, but this is my favorite film of Tom Cruise. And it's just a good movie. It's an epic film. It's like 2 hours, but it feels like it's a longer film. And then the book itself is just so good. It has like a bunch of like gay undertones, and it's a beautiful film. And also amazing book. I actually finished the book in like maybe a day and a half when I read it. And it's just so gripping, but the film does a really good job. I know there's a whole series on it, AMC series, and we'll probably have to watch it some time throughout the year or whatever, at least start on it, because I know there's a second season right now. But the film itself, great performances by Christian Slater. You have Brad Pitt. You have Kristen Dunst when she was a kid. And Antonio Banderas. You can't go wrong with that. It's New Orleans. It's Dark Vampire. The movie's a classic. And it doesn't get any older. I mean, it's 30 years old now. So, yeah, it's just amazing film from start to finish. It was actually between this one and the sequel of movies that I wanted to put on this list. I say The Terminator because this is one of the first movies that I remember as a child that got me into special effects, got me into a story, got me into these characters. And I was just like amazed. I was like, how the hell did they do this fucking movie? You know? So with that being said, this is pretty much my love for films right here. The Terminator, directed by James Cameron. In 1984, I watched this when it first came out on VHS. Yes, I was kind of a bad kid. A lot of my peers in not high school, but elementary, were like, what the hell? You're watching Terminator? You're watching rated R films? Of course I am, because, well, my dad worked a lot. My mom was disabled. She was schizophrenic and had mental issues. So she took care of me as good as she could, you know. And I was raised on a lot of movies, and so this is my passion. The Terminator was just amazing, and how that whole part when he had to remove his eyeball, from that to the part where he's just appearing with his endoskeleton, that shit just, wow. I just like 6 years old, just amazed me, and forever will hold up to the pinnacle of sci-fi films for me. I mean, this is one of my favorite ones. The sequel is badass too, but the Terminator, the first one, did such a good, impactful thing to me, and I'm so glad that I got exposed to this film at an early age. Last but not least is The Crow. The Crow from 1994. Yes, I did not have a advanced screening of The Crow from 2024. No, not at all. Do I not want to see it? Of course not. I heard so many horrible things already, and there's a whole article about that you can read it online. But this is the 1994 classic with Brandon Lee, you know, and the soundtrack and the revenge film is, and the dark, the darkness with the lighting, and just with everything. It's just a beautiful film. Not only that, but it's so good, and it holds up because I just went to go see it in the theaters for the first time last month, and my experience was so damn good after 30 years. Now, this is a very influential film for me because of the whole goth thing and the goth culture. I love it. Actually exposed me to a lot of new music, got me into Pantera, got me into more of the Nine Inch Nails stuff, which I already saw, you know, through the Closer with the Downward Spiral, and as well as Pretty Hate Machine before that on 120 Minutes. It also exposed me to more The Cure, um, Jesus and the Mary Chained, Violent Femmes. The soundtrack is amazing. Film is beautiful. It's last film from Brandon Lee, which I was a huge fan in my teens. And this movie will forever be one of my favorite movies. And that's pretty much all I can say about my favorite top 15. I was just wondering if what's your guys' favorite top 15? And it could pretty much be anything according to the rules. Thanks again, Kev, for the for real podcast, for putting out some really good content, and as well as Doobie's movies. Thanks out again. I can't thank you guys enough. And until next time, everybody out there, thanks for watching. I hope I didn't bore you with all of these favorites of mine.